Minister, I realise that the Department of Education have had a very difficult time trying to work out a programme for schools September and the transition from pre-COVID to now. I think it is safe to say that schools cannot eliminate the risk. However, they will try to mitigate this risk in whatever guidelines are given to them. They are awaiting the new template to be issued. The one issue that they are concerned with is what monetary allowance is being given to schools to make them COVID ready. A number of my constituents have been in contact in a very emotional state regarding special need adults and children that are in daycare. Yet they have received no guidelines as when they are going back to their schools. They have said that every other organisation have a roadmap and they have nothing. I know the July provision is welcomed by so many of my constituents. However, there are several children that have fallen between the cracks. It is so difficult. Parents have taken so much time off work in order to care for their children and are looking forward to availing of the July provision. One case where a child got the go-ahead for provision from the school but now has no transport for the children to go to school. Can I ask you, Minister, that next week could you put a dedicated phone line for different areas to help get the July provision to run as smoothly as possible for all concerned? It would actually help people if there is a dedicated phone line for each area that they can actually ring, get the guidelines, get the support that they need and get this July provision to run smoothly. It was brought up there about the SUSI grant, and I'm delighted to hear you say that it will go based on the 2019. But an issue I have with the SUSI grant is, and you've entered into to formal government with the Greens and Fianna Fáil. If you look at the mileage to avail of a SUSI grant, it's 45 kilometres away from the school or the college. Now, what they actually do is on Google, they take the shortest distance, which could carry you through roads that even Eamon Ryan couldn't cycle on a bicycle. I have people coming to me that are less than a half a kilometre off of the N20, and they are forcing them to take routes to go to this school, and then they're saying that they're disqualified because they are short 0.4 of a kilometre for the SUSI grant. All grants to the school should be used on the main routes. They are taking the routes through the city of Limerick. So we have congested traffic again to get people to schools. There is a link road around Limerick. Anyone that's coming to school should use the main routes, and it should not be used that they have to use, that the department comes on and says, no, we have the guidelines, you have to go this road, that road, you don't qualify. That doesn't work. You're all on about infrastructure. Infrastructure you put in place, and now you're using it to stop people to qualify for a grant for the SUSI. I'm asking you, Minister, let people use the main routes to get to their colleges and work on that. I have people that qualified for it last year and don't qualify this year because they're saying that the guidelines are changed, that you have to use the direct route. Please, Minister, I'm asking you to intervene. I'm looking for the dedicated phone line. I am looking for you to use the main routes in the SUSI grant. Thanks, Minister.
Okay, the first thing you raised there was about the monetary guarantees. Look, there's going to be a cost involved here, and just to reassure the Deputy that there's ongoing discussions with Deeper, and before any final, I suppose, before there's any conclusion to how this will look in September, there'll have to be commitments, financial commitments coming from Deeper. So look, that will happen. Look, I do take your point in terms of the special needs issue, and look, it's been difficult, and to be honest, Deputy, the last 3 months, while it's been difficult for different people in different sectors, and people losing jobs, and frontline workers, and all the different pressure points, I think the area where we're all thinking on. We're thinking on people with children with special educational needs, and that's why I really wanted this programme to go ahead. I wanted to expand it, and what a year to try and do it with all the unknowns and all the constraints and all the uncertainty. But one thing's for sure, and you'll be hearing it in your own constituency in Limerick, Deputy, like the goodwill and the enthusiasm and the solidarity within the education community to make this happen is going to make it happen.
Thanks,
but unfortunately, there's going to be deficits such as the school transport. But to reassure you, parents will get a grant.
Deputy
And look, the
McGrath.
Susie grant will be
McGrath.
looked at in the context of new
Deputy McGrath.
deliberations.
Cormac,